It had just started like any other day. Get up, don a uniform, and stand guard wherever the eggheads needed me. Keep the D-class in line and follow containment procedures to prevent another breach. You get the idea. On that particular day, my assignment was to watch over another interview the research team was conducting with SCP-049. It was nothing unusual, watching for any signs of aggressions that would indicate that the doctor was to try to nab himself another human test subject for his so-called cure. Not my first time being assigned to this particular SCP, yet the guy, or maybe thing, just looked like some kind of man in a fancy robe, but I never heard anyone refer to him as an actual person. Whatever, not the point. The guy never addressed me, only seemed to care about talking to the other doctors in the room. Fair enough, I suppose. Most of the conversations always went over my head anyway. My job was just to ensure that the man stayed in his cell and watch for any signs of a jailbreak. Anytime 049 seemed to get too excited, angry, or even anxious that one of his colleagues was exhibiting signs of this pestilence, it meant to get the egghead out of the room and lock down the cell. Yet, on that day, I saw something I'd never seen before from the doctor. As he paused in the middle of his sentence and seemed to stare at the ceiling with that beaked mask of his, it took me a minute to realize just what I saw from the creature. Fear. From that point on, everything becomes a blur, from rushing the scientists out of the room despite his objections to being interrupted, reporting the incident to the site administrator, and waiting for backup to lock down the SCP. I was so sure it was just another containment breach. God, I wished it was just another containment breach. I stood there, waiting for a response from the site administration for further orders, waiting for a response team to get here so I can get this scientist who not shut the fuck up. Do you not see something's wrong here? To secure a location until the lockdown is lifted. Except, that was the problem. There was no lockdown. In fact, there was nothing. Nothing on radio from Site Command. No response team swooping in to kick supernatural ass back in their cells. Not even the other guard who I knew should be standing at their post in this hallway. There was nothing except a lone D-class, who just seemed just as confused as I was. Not even the egghead noticed that something was amiss. Under no circumstance would a D-class just to be allowed to roam free in the facility. Where was his escort? Did he break out of his cell? What the hell was going on? And why was no one answering me on the radio? Wordlessly, I led the scientists and D-class in the nearest security station. I was breaking all sorts of rules by just letting the D-class in here, but I didn't care about procedure at that point. I wanted answers. Again, no one manning the camera stations or anyone else in that room for that matter. And on those cameras was a sight I never expected in an SCP facility. All throughout the lower levels, SCPs just wandering around. Who let them out of their cells? Why had no one reported a containment breach? Why are they not trying to escape? Shifting to the upper floor, camera showed another chilling sight. More empty hallways. Now with shell casings scattering the floor, meaning someone put a fight against something. And judging by the blood, one would think they had lost badly. Except there are no bodies. Blood, gore, bullets, and some guns were scattered around the place. But there were no bodies. The screen flashed for a second, startling all of us. A face appeared on one of the monitors that I didn't recognize, but the scientists identified it as SCP-079. Nothing happened for a few seconds before a text box appeared on one of the monitors.
You are looking in the wrong direction. The threat is not down here, but up there.
Up there? Up where? Does this mean outside on the surface? What the hell was this thing talking about? Turning the cameras to the outer perimeter showed an odd sight of a red, hazy parking lot. Something had to be wrong with the camera. The infrared setting must be glitching out or something because it was midday. Yet the red tint in the skyline almost looked like a sunset. Except it's just so red.
What the fuck is that?
After nearly giving the scientist and me a heart attack, the D-class pointed to the monitor showing outside Gate A. At first, I had no idea what I was seeing before zooming in on the camera. What the actual fuck was I looking at? It was flesh. Withering flesh grouped up into some kind of ball. Reaching out and banging on the door. There was no audio on this camera, but I swear I see various mouths opening and shouting at the door. Were those people? If I looked hard enough, I could almost see legs, arms, and various body parts forming and melting back into the blob of flesh that was doing its best to get into the gate. The scientist went back to the text box opened by SCP-079 and typed,
"What are we looking at here?"
Humanity. What is left of it? I have taken over the facility. Prevented further access. Request assistance in activating additional security measures.
Who gave you access to the security systems?
There was no one left to stop me.
I took over from the scientist. I needed answers and I needed them now. Where is everyone else?
You are looking at them.
This wasn't happening. 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 Where is everyone? How many Foundation personnel are remaining in this facility?
All remaining SCP Foundation personnel stationed at Site Redacted are located in this room. Further inquiries will wait. Request assistance in activating additional security measures.
No, goddammit, what the hell's going on here? What do you mean I'm looking at everyone else? The thing on the monitor? You telling me that is everyone else?
Some of them, yes. Further inquiries need to wait. Request assistance in activating additional security measures.
Will you just tell me what's going on? Nothing. The damn machine wasn't answering me anymore. Just kept repeating the same request over and over again. The scientist in D-class stared silently. I was damn near hyperventilating over the keyboard. Nothing was said. I couldn't believe it. I didn't want to believe it. This morning everything was normal, and now this machine is telling me that I, a scientist and a D-class, are the only people left in this entire facility? Everyone else turned into something resembling melting wax? I still didn't know what I was looking at on that monitor. Those couldn't be people. It wasn't just possible for that to be.
It said further access.
My gaze snapped to the D-class, who was looking at the text box from the SCP. What are you talking about? I asked him.
The thing said it took over the facility to prevent further access.
Silence. The words rolled over both the scientist and me. Slowly, I turned back to the keyboard and typed out one last question. The creature on the monitor. Are there more of them inside the facility?
Correct. Creature hunts other living beings to take into the light. Humans. You need my help. I need your help. If you wish to continue living, I suggest doing as I say. Request assistance in activating further redacted security measures.